Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Anton, and today we're going to talk about top 10 crypto influencers on YouTube. I think this topic is super important because, in my opinion, miseducation and the lack of education when it comes to crypto is really showing right now, and the markets are basically going to the toilet, and people are genuinely surprised and that you have no idea why is this happening, and there's so many theories out there. So I think in these conditions, educating oneself and getting to know the space as much as possible so you can make an informed decision is absolutely crucial. And this is why I'm producing this video. I urge you to watch it to the end. I'm gonna go through some of the influencers that have influenced me. I've been in the space since 2017. It's not a long time. I know some people that are going to appear here in my video that have been in the space since 2008. I don't suppose Satoshi himself is going to be there. Maybe somewhere, I don't know, maybe Charles Hoskinson is Satoshi Nakamoto, I have no idea. But anyway, so I'm going to go through some of the influencers that have really put a stamp on me. I urge you to subscribe to the channel, like the content, share it as much as possible. Please leave your comment. This is one thing that I appreciate the most. Of course, like the content, but comments is what steers me in the right direction and compels me to produce the type of content that's in demand the most, and that way the channel gets developed. You guys get the best type of content, and I get satisfaction as content creator. So let's get right into it. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's do it. Okay, so let's get the obvious out of the way. Coin Bureau is probably, I mean, if you're in the space at all, you're probably already subscribed to this channel. It's got over 2 million subscribers, and you know, the numbers speak for themselves. Nobody really knows his name. I mean, there are some versions out there. I think according to some people, his name is Mike Jenkins. He lives in Hackney, London, or whatever. You know what? I don't really care. This guy really cares about his privacy, so I'm not gonna intrude on him trying to find out who he really is. What's really valuable about this channel, in my opinion, is that he puts out a lot of great content, and most importantly, he prepares his content in advance. Unlike this particular video where I just spitball, this guy prepares a very thorough script where he gathers information and he delivers it as a professional actor, which he probably most certainly is. In the way that he delivers his content. So this is what's so valuable about this channel. The infotainment and entertainment factors are all top notch. It ticks all the boxes. That information is absolutely up to date. It's really reliable. So I urge you guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It's pretty great. Number 9 on the list is one of the ones that I really like. I mean, Raoul Pal is also, he's the guy who's been in the space for a long time, and he is one of the content creators that are not only very literate and very well heeled in terms of understanding the financial markets and the space as a whole, but he's also a very charismatic personality. He knows how to deliver a line. He speaks with people in a tone of voice that is, relatable to pretty much anyone on the internet. Whether you speak good English or not, you can always discern the important information for yourself, and I think it's very valuable. And of course, the people that he speaks with are top-notch influencers. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to his channel. You will do yourself a huge favor by doing so. Yeah, number 8 is Benjamin Cohen. This guy is all about deep dives. Okay, so if you're not an economist, if you abhor looking at charts for hours and figuring out the numbers behind crypto, this channel is probably not for you. But if you appreciate thorough analysis of every candle chart that's out there with information that you can basically bet your bottom dollar on, well, don't bet your bottom dollar or anything, okay? So this may be a good time to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, and this is by no means an investment advice. I mean, do not listen blindly to anyone on the internet tells you, especially on YouTube channels. I mean, some of those content creators really depend on your likes and subscription numbers, so they'll tell you just about anything in any tone of voice that you'll take in order to get a like out of you, because this is their, this is their income. Those are not the channels that I recommend. I sit through these things with the utmost attention to detail, and basically trying to figure out which ones are the most informative and whose information is the most reliable one out there. So with that out of the way, Benjamin Cohen, I think, is a great bet. Please listen to what he has to say. Subscribe to his channel. You won't regret it. Number 7, digital asset news. Well, the title, the name of the channel basically speaks for itself. This is probably the best digital assets news channel on YouTube. And the reason being is that the way these guys deliver their content is they put out a news and then they analyze the hell out of it. This is what I really like. This is not what I do. In fact, I encourage you to check out my newsreels, but they're not doing it as a newscaster would do it. Just, shoot out a bunch of news and be done with it. This is not it. What they do is they create a dialogue and sometimes a very lively discussion around a particular piece of news that they feel is relatable to everybody, in the space. So I appreciate that very much. I think it's relatable to me. And one of the most important reasons is that if I feel that the video that I begin to watch is not something that I can relate to, I know that there's nothing else out there. I can just stop watching. I'm not wasting any of my time. So I really like this manner of delivering news in any space, and especially in crypto. So when it comes to news, I think this is top notch. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Andreas Antopolis, okay? Again, if you spend any amount of time in this space, you probably know who this is, and you probably already have subscribed to his channel, because this guy's been doing it for a long time. He's a public speaker. He's a motivational speaker. He's a top-notch specialist in the space, and the numbers speak for themselves. Over 300,000 subscribers. I mean, there's nothing much to say here. So it's basically all in the description to the channel. He's one of the most unbiased, honest, easy to understand, and entertaining educators on the internet. When the guy like that, speaks about crypto, it's always very entertaining, very educational. So this is what I like about this channel. This guy is very charismatic. I love the way he does it. I really appreciate the information he delivers. It's very valuable to me, so I'm sure it will be to you. This is one of my favorites, okay? The Defiance. The reason I really love this YouTube channel is that it's run by a guy named Robin Schmidt, and he's a professional filmmaker. He's been doing this for a couple of years, but he's so deep into the space, and he's so deep into filmmaking. So he's managed to combine these two passions into something that's really, really unusual in its delivery, and very valuable in terms of information he delivers. So I urge you to subscribe to this channel. It's very entertaining, very informational, very educational, and you won't regret it. There are virtually no videos on the channel that you'd probably stop watching like halfway, because they're all like tiny little documentaries that he delivers in the manner. Sometimes it's a detective, sometimes it's like a romance story, sometimes just dialogue with a very interesting person. So just subscribe to it, check it out for yourself, and I encourage you to subscribe to their newsletter, because it's really top notch, one of the best in the industry. Tech Lead. Okay, so you can see that this guy's got 1,340,000 subscribers. So what he does goes on the internet. He dubs himself a former tech lead at Google. I have no idea whether or not it's true, and you know what? I don't care. And the reason I don't care is that I watch this channel, I watch his videos because they're very entertaining. Sometimes he aims to entertain, sometimes he aims to educate. Sometimes the combination that he creates is not entirely, up my alley, but I can live with that, because this guy's really, it's interesting. You know what? I'd much rather watch this than almost anything on Netflix or, I don't know, Apple TV or whatever. These guys know how to make money. This guy basically just puts out content that motivates you to invest and motivates you to find out more. And this is all I want from him. So subscribe and you will have fun watching his videos. I guarantee it. Lex Friedman. You're not gonna find a lot of crypto related content on his channel. Okay, he's not a crypto enthusiast or crypto super specialist, but this guy I love because he speaks with the highest possible caliber of people out there. It's like he's been on Joe Rogan, just so you know, he's been on Joe Rogan for a few times. And this is like, the A-list of podcasters. This is the top echelon of anyone that's on YouTube. He's got 1.7 million subscribers, and one thing that really bothers me about this channel and about his manner of delivery is that his conversations run for hours. I mean, he's done almost 5 hours with Charles Hoskinson from Cardano, but the thing is, if you have it in you to endure this conversation for 5 hours, it's probably, it's like you've read a papal bull. It's like you've just went through a global Encyclopedia Britannica or anything. It's very educational, very thought-provoking. I urge you to subscribe to his channel and start listening to his content. There's not much to watch there. These are just podcasts, but you will not regret it. I guarantee this is top-notch content, and you'll come out of this thing better educated, better informed, and just an overall smarter person. What Bitcoin did, same thing, only about Bitcoin. This channel is all about Bitcoin. He's not much of a YouTuber. He's basically a podcaster, and he runs a very successful podcast sponsored by a bunch of people like Gemini Exchange and some others. Granted, I'm not a huge fan of podcasts sponsored by, crypto exchanges. But that aside, I think he does a great job. I mean, just look at the caliber of people that he speaks with. Lynn Alden's one of my favorite analysts, and there's Mike Saylor. There are some people, he speaks with top-notch people in the industry, and he does it very well. He's got a great delivery. He's got a great voice. He's like a born podcaster. He's had a very rough life before he actually got into it. And on one of his podcasts, he speaks about himself. I can't really remember which one exactly is that. I think it's the one with Nick Carter. In fact, Nick Carter is probably one of the people in the space that you really ought to listen closely to. But that aside, he's not a YouTuber as far as I know. He doesn't have his own YouTube channel. But this is one thing about this channel. This is all around Bitcoin. Every once in a while, he'll sit down with someone who's not in the crypto. This is one thing that I appreciate about Peter McCormick is that this guy knows when to shut up, okay? When he realizes that he's conversing with a person who's far better informed on a particular subject than he is, he just shuts up and listens. Something not many people can do. Like Jimmy Dore can't do it. This guy can, so I appreciate that a lot. The Block is probably one of the most criminally underappreciated YouTube channels on the internet. It's only 2,200 subscribers. These guys probably not advertising their content, but they're putting out a lot of it, and the content is top notch. I guarantee the Block. It's actually, if you go to their website, the Block is a media organization. It's basically a very, very well-rounded crypto near crypto blog. Obviously, they don't specialize in putting content on YouTube. So if they did, you would have probably seen hundreds of thousands of subscriptions on their channel. Something that I think is just horrible oversight on the part of the crypto public. So if you haven't subscribed to the Block already, subscribe to the channel, check out their newsletter. It's really, really very informative and very useful for anyone who's in the crypto. And finally, Thinking Crypto. Again, this channel is on everyone's list when it comes to the most informative channels, YouTube channels when it comes to crypto. It's got great people on there, great discussions. The delivery is awesome. Just from looking at this list right here, I see Gary Gensler, I see Janet Yellen, I see Musk, I see Michael Saylor, I see a whole lot of people from the industry whose opinions really not just matter, whose opinions make the industry. If you subscribe to this channel, I take it you're going to be as much in the know as possible. So I urge you to do that. And this basically completes my list. Obviously, these are not the only sources that I use in my research, but I think if you subscribe to these 10 YouTube channels, your information flow is going to be optimized to the point when you'll be able to discern the most important facts and figures in the space, and basically just brush off everything else that passes by your ears and eyes, because I know that information overload is just as bad for informing oneself as the lack of information. So this, I think, makes a very well-balanced list. And with that, I leave you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel, like our content, share it. Just remember the whole bit. It helps me a lot, helps out the channel a lot, and most importantly, it keeps you in the loop. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.